Whoever knows when this starts up anyways. Good Lord, I say. Ouch, that looks like it hurts. That silly thing. Okie dokie, and that's just right when that game started up. What the heck nose is that? What is this? Oh, this is some sort of advertisement. Great, one I do not know yet. Go away, advertisement. I don't need to watch my own stream. Right, so we've got that, and that's where I'm supposed to be doing the chat. Yeah, chat. What's up, Nikito? How's it going? If I wreck, send a rescue mission. I'm not sure how to get into orbit on 35 North, man. What's up, Mellored? How's it going? We are getting started here. That's okay. I can stay up there. I wish I could just minimize the video. Can I pop out the chat twice? I wonder if that's gonna work. I'm gonna try something right quick. Am I still on full screen? Yeah, whatever. Can I pop it out twice, or does it use the same window name? Please don't use the same window name. Ooh, it doesn't. Excellent. That means that I don't need to have that entire window open, which is good. And then I can actually... Stugly Squid, you're just on time, Magical Mexican, dude. What is this? Seth is here, too. It's like a freaking deluge of regulars. Dang. Great info. Dude, Nikito. Good to hear. I'm glad to help you. Actually, that's what we're going to be doing all this evening. I am going to be doing user craft consulting. I don't even know what to call it, really. I am going to be answering people's questions about their craft. Somebody said they had a fueler that wasn't really going to orbit very well, so I said send me a file and I'll try to figure it out. Somebody said they had some mission requirements. We're probably going to do some interplanetary transfers because a lot of people asked about that yesterday. Dude, Marco Master, Iversman, Brain Fried Nikito, Seth, Magical Mexican, Sitherly's here. Guy, good night, Irene. That's a lot of people. I'm going to try something here, though. I'm trying something. All right, I don't think it's... Can somebody say DOS for me? Give me a DOS in chat or something that's going to get highlighted. Because I think this may not do what exactly I wanted it to do. Just like toss a DOS or a question in there, something to highlight it. Because now I've got two chat windows open. And I was going to not highlight the I was not going to highlight the questions on the one that goes to the stream. Nightbot, you so spammy. But I was going to highlight them on the one that I actually look at, and I can have a lot more screen real estate. There you go. I have a Kerbal I can't EVA from to space from KSA. Blipman, what's going on? Thanks, Sitherly. Oh, so it's going to highlight it. Gosh. It's going to highlight it on one side, but it's not going to highlight it on the other side. Thanks, Nikito, as well. D-A-S. Blipman, with an S. With an S. The Z goes at the end of my name. Shucks. Because I'm using Better Twitch TV chat. And... What? Doesn't make a lot of sense. I have Better Twitch TV chat. Maybe, no, because the Better Twitch TV is what gives me the chroma key. The problem is right here, right? Y'all can see this. I think. Can you see it? There we go. Yeah, y'all can see this. See how it actually green screens out the chroma key color? So when we're in white backgrounds, it makes it really hard to see that on the stream. I was doing some highlights last night. By the way, I got the highlight of the VAB landing done. No, well, Kerbal Space Program, kind of. We are going to play Kerbal Space Program, but I'm going to answer questions from people. I am definitely going to answer questions from people. So, I was trying to fix this, and I couldn't come up with a good way to fix it, because it doesn't give me unblacken chat, clear my chat. See, none of that works, and the chroma key won't go inside the red. So not first. Wait, what? First! So not first. Snuggly Squid's here too. Went to run a rescue mission for a stranger Kerbal. Realized that Bill had sat himself in the seat that was meant for the Kerbal. I didn't realize it until it landed on the moon. We've done that before, though. We do that all the time. Snuggly Squid, you can definitely solve that one, right? Just send more craft. You can always you should put an emergency command chair on your craft, just in case somebody sneaks on board. You can always put them in the toilet seat / command chair and do that sort of deal. Well, that's not going to work. I was hoping I could fix this. And I don't know enough about this to fix that. I don't know if I can edit the donation, notify, BTTV chat. Frame drops. I'm not getting any on this end, and I monitor it, so I'm not seeing any scuba error. Moon. Spam. Seriously, Seth? Don't mind having you here, but what's up, Icebox? How's it going? We're going to try something new. We're going to try a new idea tonight. We're going to do Kerbal Space Academy Helpdesk, the KSA Helpdesk. I'm going to see if people have questions that they want answered. If they have craft that aren't working, they want me to tune or something like that, I can actually, using their requirements, design the craft on the stream. Or I can get a craft file, like if they have a Dropbox craft file or something, I can download the craft. As long as it doesn't have mods, I don't use that sort of stuff. And we can try to tune it, get it to orbit, do the mission with it, whatever. That's kind of the idea. What is this? Emergency KSA pen, just in case. What's up, Handman? The Star Trek thing you sent me, that was the Star Trek thing. That's awesome. That's like totally, I have no clue how to play it. I was like, this looks right though, because it's like shoot Klingon with photon torpedo sort of deal. So, I think we're good to go. That was awesome that you found that in like 2 seconds yesterday. Also, declarations. What's going on, DK? did this start up yet? Yeah, it started up yet. Let's actually go to KSP. Whoop. Nobody wants to see my face. There I am. Oh man, the underside of my hat is clear again. Yeah, 613, dude. We got a ton last night. FRMS mod. FRMS mod. What is the FRMS mod? I'm not going to act like I know everything off the top of my head. FRMS KSP. That is the equilibrium of salts. Well, that's not right. Apparently that's something about a solubility product. And FRMS has something to do with... what are you looking for there? FMRS. Oh, maybe if I typed it right. FMRS KSP. Flight Manager for Reusable Stages. What is that? Jump back and forth in time. Well, that's interesting. I gotcha. That's the one that lets you warp back and forth and that sort of stuff, so you can be running multiple missions. Like you can do... It like pauses a part of your craft, and then you can go and control another craft and go fly it down, and it'll like simulate or something where the other craft was going or something like that. On the back of a normal... Yeah, something like that. Interesting. What does that have to do with a fully reusable craft, though? T-Game! What's up? Trying something new tonight. I don't know. Flight Manager for Reusable Stages I don't have installed, so I can't do that one. I can definitely look... Who was that? Blipman, was it you that was asking me like a single stage to anywhere sort of craft? But I think you said it had drop tanks or something. What were you talking about yesterday when you said that? People just coming in. I'm trying another new idea tonight. And the new idea is kind of a KSA help desk. We always get quite a few people who are asking questions, right? And so I thought I might devote a little bit of time to specifically answering questions. How to make a fully reusable craft with it. How would I make a fully reusable craft with it? So you're basically looking for like a space plane or something. Let's actually start looking at it. I mean, let's get started somewhere, right? Resume saved. I think we can resume whatever doesn't have. Let's go find a save that's not... There was Kerbal Boot Camp. That's what we did yesterday. We can do some more boot camp. Let's open up Kerbal Boot Camp. I don't think we have much going on. SST to anywhere. There's definitely... I'm not going to say you could make an DK, by the way, thanks for the link up there, man. I'm not going to say that I could do an SST to anywhere. That may be... I try to stay away from things that require like hours and hours and hours of fine-tuning. But... let's look at this in Blip. Tell me if this is something along the lines of what you're trying to accomplish. I'm just making up stuff here. But it's basically going to be a jet engine powered lifter stage that then flies back down. Oh, that's not going to really work, would it? It'd be like a VTOL lifter stage? I don't know. Let's see. We're just going to make stuff up like we usually do. Yes. We've got that. We've got that going. This is good. Maybe I'll start with this. we always use the big rockets, right? When we send this stuff to space, we're always doing stuff that's like this. This section, we have like some of this fuel up here, and you know, this like goes to space, and we put boosters, ad infinitum, blah 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 blah, right? A spacecraft, dude. What's up, Fukuda? How's it going? Also, Caboose. Caboose, did you have a question? Yesterday, you were supposed to remind me something. Steam name's Das Valdez, by the way. You can find me on Steam as Das Valdez. You can also look for K-Space Academy. I got that set up last night. But we always have rockets that look like this. And let's see about kind of a new idea here, right? Let's say, what sort of fuel could I use? Could I do this? I've never actually tried this before. What if I do this and I just take all that out? This is probably way too much fuel. But we're just going to make this up, right? And we are going to put, what if we just use that as a fuel tank? And we use this in 8x symmetry. 8x symmetry, that might not be enough. Let's do 12x symmetry. 6x times 2, right? And here's what I'm going to do. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. Okay, station. Fully reusable. Nothing jettisoned without soft landing. Well, man, we can do that really, really easily. Scourge, dude! What's going on, Scourge? Thanks for joining me. Let's see here. A heavy cargo spaceplane, SSTO. Maybe we can get over to that. Well, let me kind of... I'm kind of doing two things here, right? I'm doing a non-oxidizer-powered VTOL lifter. And we are going to see how this idea turns out. I mean, we know it's been done before. It's actually looking pretty good, though. And we're going to do a little number like this. That's good. More of the same. That's kind of pointing straight in, isn't it? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We should really have them pointed out, I guess, huh? Here, let's put it. You got to put it on the right angle axis of symmetry, right? So when you do it, when you want it to line up straight, you have to do the ones that are at right angles to the VAB. You can't like put it on this one and expect it to be straight. Like, look, if I grab this thing and I try to put it on there straight, see how it's not straight? If I want it to be straight, I have to go at the right angles. And this back and forth is the right angle there, so I can put it there and I can rotate it twice and then go for 8x symmetry. And let's see how this thing goes. Such air. So much air. To get your tweet. I might get your tweet. Heavy cargo spaceplane? Alright, some people are asking for heavy cargo spaceplanes. Let me see how this thing flies, and then we will look at heavy cargo spaceplanes and see how that works. Heavy cargo spaceplanes are not particularly easy, but somebody define heavy cargo for me over there in the chat. Let me know what exactly that means. No. Come on now. There we go. There's that. Then also, which ones are fueled? Those are fueled, so I also need to do like here to the other ones. Everybody know how to do that? Everybody know how to clip inside of a part like that? You basically just fly the camera inside of the part. Whoopsie. So that you can get to the backside of other parts. Right? It'd be really hard to place this in the VAB, but by clipping into that fuel tank, right? All I really do is zoom into it and then scroll around until I'm inside the tank. That's a good way to do little wacky connections like that. I didn't know what the thrust to weight on this thing is going to be. So we're going to have a look. Such air, much rocket. 4 of an orange tank worth of payload. We can actually... So you want a space plane that does 4 of these? Google it and see if it's been done. If it hasn't been done, then we'll work on that. I don't know that that's very realistic without B9 to get that done. An orange tank is probably a more realistic goal for what we could do in a stream. A single Kerbodyne tank into LKO without using any of it. This is a Kerbodyne tank, isn't it? Or are you talking about this Kerbodyne tank? We can try it. We can try it. That may be really difficult to do. Let me look at this thing right quick. And I'm not even really sure how this would work. But see, I'm just making kind of a air-breathing lifter stage. And let's put Kerbal Engineer on there and see what sort of payload it can carry. And hopefully that doesn't get sucked into the intake. Thrust to weight, 3.73. Wow. Okay. That's a lot of delta V, too. The full-size one, you know it can be done. If you know it can be done, instead of just building something, this carbonite tank, nice. We are building we're building an air-breathing lifter. And we're going to see how that works. And I don't know if this is what I want or if I want something else. I just did that so that I could have lots of... Let's try this instead. 3.71. So what would our payload be? Our usable payload for a 1.7 launch pad for this as it stands, there we go, would be, can it do an orange tank? It's odd. Why didn't it change? Did I already break Kerbal Engineer? Or does it just now know what's going on? Oh, no, it separates that first. I see. Alright. Let's get rid of that. We're going to actually light the engines before we decouple the stuff. There we go. So that's one. So this right here could get... interesting. That is quite interesting. Not exactly. Because it's only 2,000. It would definitely need a kicker stage. So it's not going to be able to carry quite... Wow. Well, if it doesn't work, add more engines. Let's see if we add more engines here, right? 2.54. 1172 Delta V. I really wish that I could put more fuel in there. Let's try this. So for everybody that's just joining, we kind of had an idea about a single stage, not really a single stage, but an air-breathing lifter, right? Something that can, the largest carbonite. I will come back and look at that. I will look at that for you. We're looking at an air-breathing lifter right now. And we're going to see if we can't use an air-breathing lifter to get maybe an orange tank plus something to orbit. Do I have that in the save file? I'm not going to because it's boot camp. Pencil rocket. Yeah, we already did all that yesterday. I wonder. Let me go grab a craft right quick, right? Let me save this. VTOL lifter. Let me go grab a craft file right quick. What's up, awesome hitman? How's it going? And I will circle back to that space plane thing. That may be pretty interesting to do. But for now, I'm looking at this SST, well, not SS, this air-breathing lifter. And we're going to see if this is cheaper than the big rockets. These things are going to need fuel, though, aren't they? 8x symmetry. That'll do, pig. That's pretty good Delta V, but that's no payload. I'm going to save this. Let me hop over to Windows right quick and grab... Let me grab one of my single orange tank fuelers, right? My original automated fuel drones. And I just got to find what save file those guys are in. They're definitely going to be in my career, so let me grab that. For everybody just joining, I am, this evening, trying a new idea. I did not change the stream name, did I? Such a freaking noob. Did I not even put that up there? I really need to fix that. It still is like DOS free play. Yeah, it's going to be a KSA Helpdesk. And what did I say? It was craft mission consulting, debugging, and it was something about I'm just gonna say user submissions. Let's say that craft mission consulting and user submissions. So the idea here is if you've got something that you've been trying to accomplish that you haven't been able to accomplish, maybe it's a craft that's not working, a fueler that you're working on and it's not really doing well or something like that. The idea here is that you can tell me about it right now and I will try to work on it. Now we're going to have to like have sort of a queue sort of thing, right? I can't just instantly put everything in there, but right now we had a question about it was kind of a recoverable lifter sort of deal. And I'm basically building a recoverable lifter instead of... His computer can't handle it. It should technically fly. The idea here is that we're going to build an air-breathing lifter and see how much payload we can get into orbit. So I'm actually going to go and grab another rocket right quick out of another save file, then bring it over here. So I need to go to saves. And this is just my payload for this, right? I'm trying to get a single orange tank into orbit using an air-breathing lifter instead of a rocket-powered lifter. And we'll see how that compares. Valdezi. Ships. Vab. Alright, there's Epic 5, Epic 4. Automated fuel drone. Heavy. There's the Heavy Interplanetary. There's the Heavy 3. I don't know which one of these it is. So I'm going to get the H3 and the heavy interplanetary. And let's see if those are it. Fuel pod delivery. There's the mutts. Upgoer 3. So cool. Alright, so I've got those copied. Let's go back. Saves. We're in boot camp, so there's boot camp, ships, VAB, paste. There's my AFDs. These are my old. I've been using these for numerous releases. I've probably had this design around a year, and I've upgraded it as we've gotten new parts. But this, that's saved, right? This rocket is my deliver a single 214. That's the interplanetary. All right. This is my deliver a single orange tank to orbit fueler drone. It's all automated. There's no Kerbals. Oh, Caboose, thank you, by the way. Yes, to Zared Morningstar, I can also explain space station, asparagus lifting, staging, sort of deal. In fact, does this one do asparagus staging? No. So this is my, wow, that's an interesting version with those tanks on it. Not exactly the one I was looking for, the H3 apparently. This is a very wacky rocket design. I have a feeling it may be broken with the bug. So this rocket's not going to work. In fact, let's try to launch it right quick. The AFD H3 is what this is supposed to be. Broken by, yeah, okay, I actually have a note in there. Broken by radial decoupler bug. Because this is one of the craft that used to work perfectly fine. Then 2.4.1, I installed it, and this craft stopped working, which was totally annoying. I did not like it. But all I really want is this. What's the root node? You're the root node? Okay. That's that. That's that. I'm just going to bring a subassembly over here, right? Yep. And all I'm doing is bringing this craft over so I can use it as a payload on that other thing. So this is going to be the AFD H3, I think, right? AFD H3 subassembly. That's fine. Let's go back to our other craft, which was the VTOL lifter, air breathing lifter, VTOL lifter, whatever. Das, Luis, what's going on? Evo guy also. Ayo. What's up? Why what, Blitman? 2,500 parts. The bug, I'll show it to you. I'll go launch that craft in just a second. It gives a weird velocity vector to parts that are attached to radial decouplers, which ends up destroying the parts of the craft usually. So I'll show you what that means. Y'all know me, how I do this sort of deal. I really need select node, right? Which allows you to get a new, the orbital exoskeleton. Yeah, that's right, that's from last night. Allows you to get a new, there we go. A new root node for the part, because the root node is what gets attached in the subassembly, and if you don't have an axial attachment point, which is the green circle, right, on a root node, there we go. That's how we do it. We just rebuild that like that. Okay, so that's that, but this staging is all wrong. Where am I? I don't understand why it keeps putting it at the bottom. It's probably because of where the root node is. So, wow, look at that, actually. No. This, alright, here we go. Those go next. So those go like that. When this decouples, right? So that's good. And then all these chutes. This is apparently not using real chute. This automated fuel drone looks like it lands with stock chutes. Just a recipe for part spamming. I don't know, I mean, 2,500 parts on a ship, my computer can't even handle that. That's a little bit much for a ship. I almost wish. Meh. It's okay. We couldn't put 8 underneath there, could we? Yeah, we don't really have anything that would do that. And that's 1.79 on the pad, but that's not going to get us to orbit. What is that and that? Why is it not simulating anything else? Oh, I get it. Is it because of this? Is there an engineer part on there? There is. There we go. That's still not right. That's because that's my root node right there. And I actually need that to be my root node. Let's fix that right quick. It's just having trouble calculating the, nope. What's the root node? That's the root node. How annoying. This is where select node would come in huge handy. Because we are going to have to redo that guy. Whatever. We want that to be the root node. We want to take it up to there. Tell me that that is upside down. Of course that's upside down. Alright. Alright, we're good here. Subassemblies. Automated fuel drone. Got it. There, we just switch these two things out like that. Excellent. Now we can do this. So we can put this, that. We're going to have a kicker stage. We're going to have a kicker stage. This, I don't really like that. This thrust to weight is way too low. This is apparently a craft I made a long time before I came up with some of my rules, right? In fact, those are 50 each. I'm just going to take those off. I used to have nukes on here, I know. I'm just going to go with these, the LTV 45s, because that will give me a much more happy thrust to weight. Don't do me that way. 0.6, that's still not really enough thrust to weight. In fact, I think this is what I want. Tell me that's not going to take it off. Good. And where was that at? It was the 2x. There we go. The 2x. Flipping it around. Ow, come on now. Nope. Okie dokie. I'm going to switch these out too. And then we're going to put this on, hopefully. I'm going to have to do it this way, it looks like. There we go. Then this. Same thing. Same sort of tricks we always have to use. And then we'll go with these. And then we will add the LTV 45s. No, come on now. There we go. 1.21 thrust to weight with more delta V. I like it. I like it a lot. And I really feel like those need to be, they're definitely going to need to be strutted in. So let's do that right quick. 2x symmetry. Yep. And this. I'm going to go from like the middle, not quite the middle of the tank, like right there over to there. And right here over to there. Like that. And that actually looks pretty good. I don't know why these are here. Those don't need to be there. Probably just so I wouldn't have to transfer the fuel. But that's what I wanted to see right there. And I am, let me get this payload on here and I'll get caught up with the chat. Alright, so then we had that. Then we need a kicker stage. Everybody remembers the kicker stage, right? The kicker stage from yesterday was 1.5 thrust to weight. Is that disabled? Yes, it is. Are these disabled? Yes, they are. 1.5 thrust to weight. Oh, I've already got that part. On 1500 delta V. That ain't gonna do it. I'll probably do it. Let's try a skipper first, right? So what's our thrust to weight on a skipper? 0.74. What's double 0.74? And what engine has double a skipper? The mainsail. But that's only 500 meters per second, so that's not going to cut it. Editor extensions. I haven't. The payload is giving problems at launch. Certainly not. Yeah, fuel can definitely go through those. There's a very few number of parts that don't do crossfeed. Just like Mellow Red said, you can actually see it. Look, a couple of those all fuel. Which one? There we go. Apparently, a strut doesn't feed fuel. Who knew? This will say no fuel crossfeed. See right there, it says no fuel crossfeed. I think that doesn't have. Yeah, the structural pylon doesn't have fuel crossfeed. A lot of the nose cones don't. So you got to watch out for that. Because if you put a nose cone on the top of a rocket and then you're trying to do some sort of staging or something like that with a fuel line, if the fuel line goes from the tank to the nose cone, the fuel won't actually make it to the rest of the craft. You have to watch out for that sometimes. You can't really connect fuel lines to parts that say no fuel crossfeed unless you have an in and an out fuel line for it. An in and an out fuel line is really what I was going for. Got some Dr. Pepper this evening, by the way. You can do this to make the payload stable. What is this, Luis? That's awesome. That's really cool. the little like gantry that goes up there. I'm not worried about the payload being stable here. I am. The mainsail didn't do it. Dang it. What do we need? 2 mainsails? Let's make a wacky looking kicker stage here. Every now and then, far be damned. Near be damned. All aerodynamics be damned. There's nothing wrong with making a cool versus actual looking stage. 2 mainsails. I like it. see how this flies. Oh, but what I was just saying, check this out. If you're trying to do something like this, like, for some reason you think that's a good idea. Move that down a little bit. Some reason you think this is a good idea, which actually looks awesome. If you try to put fuel flow from like this center tank out to here, it won't actually flow. Does it actually flow? Oh, looks like it's actually flowing. I've run into cases where it doesn't flow, which is weird. Maybe if it actually got out there, it wouldn't flow. Whatever. Anyways, don't do that. I actually want to get rid of... Come on now. We should just go with this, I think. We should definitely go with this. Get a fuel line. Put it like that. Maybe that changed in some updates since I had trouble with it. But it used to be if you had a fuel line into something like that, it wouldn't flow fuel. Because it said... That one does say no fuel crossfeed, right? I just haven't checked that in a while. I kind of thought that that's just the way it was. So there's that. That's looking good. 2.83, but it needs more fuel. I mean, instead of those, we could put more fuel, I guess. Have girder fairings to make the payload stable during launch. Yeah. Nice. That would make Stretch truly OP. Poison Gold also, what's going on? Let me check the chat. I totally, Oh, but I'm supposed to do it this way today. Minimize that. Here's the chat. Okay, we're going to get better at this. There was these... Spaceman, Caboose, let me answer you. There's not really a spaceplane thrust to weight cheat. The question really doesn't make sense because the thrust to weight for a spaceplane is not what does a spaceplane, right? What you want for a spaceplane is the ability to keep using air-breathing engines at high altitudes while having enough lift to carry your payload. So it's not really thrust to weight when it comes to that. You do need a certain thrust to weight to get off the ground, but it's not really like 1.7 or anything like that. I can't say, make your spaceplane have a thrust to weight of 1.7, it'll get off the ground. Spaceplanes are different because you've got lift and you've got the high altitude air breathing engines involved. So there's not really a thrust to weight cheat sheet for a spaceplane. That sort of thing. Then Zared, I will get to asparagus staging. Maybe I'll do asparagus staging after this. Automated field, no, automated. It would be awesome if it was a truly automated fuel drone handman. That would be cool. He made massive wings, yeah. He couldn't strut it up. It was crashing on launch because of all the explosions. I think 2,500 parts would be the problems. Let's see here. You didn't say the magic word. Good reference. Good reference. Look, we got a Newman here. That's not his name there, is it? Nobody cares. It's like mixing games. Casbro, I have no clue what language that is, but I can't answer it if that's a question. That's, yeah, I don't know. I'm not even going to guess because it'll make me look dumb. Quick load. Wait. I haven't scrolled down to that yet. Check out. Hi, Das. Poison, I think I got you. Make sure it's truly. It's a refueler. Yes. Awesome Hitman says, I got to the moon, landed, and came back to Kerbal with only maybe 20 quick saves. Dude, I don't care how many quick saves or quick loads or whatever. That's awesome. Dude, awesome Hitman. That is actually awesome. Awesome Hitman that you got to the moon and got back. Congratulations. I hope we were able to help some, man. It's like perseverance and hanging out here. Hopefully they got you done. Caspro, if that was peace to you as well. Welcome to Kerbal Space Academy Help Desk. The real question is how many... Alright, we got that. 2,500. Yep, that's a surprise. Okay, so I'm all caught up with chat. Sweet. Let's continue on with this. It needs more fuel. Remember the same thing. Oh no, I've got that, but the tablet chat would be really... I mean, I just have a window, and I can see when questions come in, but I can't see what the question is. I'm going to buy another... I mean, I got donations last night, which was really freaking awesome, and I put them into the monitor fund, my PayPal monitor fund. And I'm going to get another monitor that I'll have over here with my broadcasting software and that sort of stuff on it. That will be what I will be doing when I get enough. Dude, Canine Officer, watching at the lunch break. How's it going, man? That's freaking hardcore, not going to lie. Let's see here. So, we've got those on there. Anyways, yeah, I can see the chat. I'll just get caught up on occasion. This guy needs more fuel. Step one, we could put more fuel... I love the way this design looks. It doesn't look like a real rocket, but you know something you gotta have. Did it look like I clicked anywhere near that to anyone else? You gotta have fun on occasion. And this is how I have fun. There it is. Thwink! That's more fuel. More fuel, activate. Jeez. Let me go get this thingy. We could actually make them drop tanks, but I'm just not going to worry about it. Was that 2x symmetry? Was it? Was it? Yes, it was. Now look at that. We have 1961 with 205 thrust to weight from 2 mainsails. That's not bad. We can get away. We can get away with it. You could have more air intakes. Oh, well, I'm going. This is the kicker stage. Throw some canards. Jeez. Luis, you writing books in my chat over there, man? I am also going to put some of this on the kicker stage. Those should really be on here, I guess, instead of out there. I just like the way that looks. You didn't say the magic word. That should be good. I mean, if we wanted to, we could always do this, right? We could do this. And if I take a strut from, say, here. Oh, come on. There we go. If I take a strut from, say, there to there, it should also intersect. Yeah, that's 4x strutting. I like it. Now let's work on that air-breathing lifter stage. So, I wanted to go to structural. I wanted to go to here. The air-breathing lifter stage and then mainsail main stage. We were trying to be more efficient, but it just didn't work out because we tossed the mainsails in there. Alright, I'll put this one on first. And let's do this fuel tank again. Take all the oxidizer out because we don't need it. That's just weight. That's not where I clicked. Sometimes it's so laggy when it decides where you clicked. So now we've got that, but I think I needed 8x symmetry, didn't I? It's always putting these in the first stage. I think that's what's happening. No, 6x symmetry times 2 is what we were doing. Really? Oh, no. That's the invisible part bug. Clicking and no part going down with no red thing, that's the invisible part bug. That's very not good. Save. Get the heck out of the VAB. Has anybody ever seen the invisible part bug? We were talking about it the other night. There's like struts going off in the middle of space. That's definitely not cool. More air intakes. Oh yeah, T-Game. That's right. I was saying that part's not going to be air breathing. That would be interesting. No, because the kicker always takes you from like 25 to 50 or 70. The kicker usually doesn't have any air to breathe. There it is. Right there. So you see that? You see how those things are shimmering? That is the invisible part bug. That basically means that it's clipped 6 of those parts into because it was on 6x symmetry at the time. But it didn't look like it. The game thought that there were parts there, but there weren't actually parts there. This may have completely bugged out this entire craft. The only thing you can do... You see that? Y'all see that shimmering. Actually, let me make sure it's appearing on the stream. Yeah, it is appearing on the stream. The invisible part bug. There are like multiple copies of this part clipped into each other. I could try to launch it, and it's got a lot more than the engines that you see on here. When those parts shimmer like that, this entire thing is hosed. See, look. Now it like thinks that that part is still there, even though it's not. Crap. Oh, gosh. How did I run into the part bug that early? Look, I can't do anything. Look, that like made a copy of that part. Look, I can just get infinite parts off of there. And they just float in space. You'll see what's going on. In these things, it's making the throwaway noise. But it's not actually throwing the parts away. I don't think there's anything we can do. We're going to have to see. I mean, look, the parts are just floating in space. I do not know what causes this. But when it happens, the entire craft may be borked. Unless you bring the rest of it. Okay, those are gone, but they're still floating in the VAB, see? Yeah, Mad Monster, I definitely think that that's, More Delta V and thrust to weight. No, you don't want that bug on your ship. I am going to save these craft as a subassembly. I hope it doesn't take the invisible parts with it. Just save it as that to get it done. And we're going to make an entire... Forget this, man. I need to make a new craft. I can't make a new craft? That's interesting. Just put that down. Then we'll forget that craft, man. I just need to delete that and never come back to that craft file again. So we're going to have to do this. Wow, that's crazy that we ran into that quickly in the stream. There's the test. Thwink. Please don't have the part bug. There's not invisible parts floating. Alright. We'll have to see, because if I get that shimmering thing again, that is a freaking problemo. Did you ever see that? I mean, I knew what... Oh, it may have been really hard to see. I knew what happened because I clicked in the gate, didn't show a red part. If you click and the part disappears, it basically means that it put a copy of the part down, but it didn't start rendering the part. And so the game simulation thinks that there's a part there, but it doesn't think that it needs to display the part for some reason. I have no clue. But that's what I knew. As soon as I clicked and that happened, I was like, oh, crap. That's not good. But anyways, that's the invisible part bug. Yeah, and while I'm at it, I'll just throw an extra chute there. It looks like it needed one. Did I fix the top? I did fix the top. All right, let's see if we got away from the invisible part bug here. See if we were able. Don't need the oxidizer because this is air breathing. I'm going to use these structural things because they don't weigh much. In 6x symmetry, like that. And then I'm going to put a turbojet engine on it, like that. Then I'm going to put my air intakes on it. I wonder if it was something about the air intakes or something. All I know is when that shows up, you just freaking abandon the craft. Let's see here. The more intakes would be useful. More useful on launch than nose cones. Yeah, you got it. Doesn't look good. Maybe put a small structural part between the engines so they don't clip so close. That's actually not a bad idea. I don't think that that's what caused it, but I like... no, it's totally broken, Blipman. You can't control like, the game completely doesn't know how to deal with that. I've tried everything, and the only way to do it is just get the heck out of that craft. I like the idea with the structural segments, so I'm just going to do my little standoff things. That was, who was that? Freud. Hey, dude, what's up, Freud, by the way? And Mitsuku is here as well. I always like listening to people, so even if it's something that I wouldn't have to do, maybe I still like doing it just because I like people participating. I totally appreciate everybody that hangs out in my channel. That looks cool. Actually, that'll allow us to spam some of those little radial intakes in there too, right? So we're gonna need fuel lines. This will make the fuel lines easier as well. That's actually a really good idea, Freud, because it solved a couple different problems. It gave us more room for spamming radial intakes. The mainsails, the clipping areas on the mainsails are ridiculous. There we go. Like that. Over to there. 8x, 6x symmetry, right? Yeah, that's good. And then do the same thing again in 6x symmetry. Right about there. And I showed this earlier, clipping into the engine, or clipping into the fuel tank. Engineer. Oh, engineer. There we go. Now I can clip into it and I can connect those things there. So now we've got that, but that says that's only 0.73 on the pad. 706 meters per second. Jeez. Yeesh. That's not good. That's not enough at all. So is that our kicker stage? Let me just make sure the rest of this is staged correctly so we know what we're looking at. That's that, and it lights those, yes. And then it lights those, and it lights these engines. Yes. Excellent. And now we just have to put so many freaking things on here that, this is going to be interesting to tune. 1.05, that'll let us take off very slowly. 1.35, I think we're just going to have to go with that, but that says it's only 649 meters per second, which is not very many meters per second. It looks cool, though. It totally looks cool. And let's go over here. Let's grab another tank. And let's actually just go out there and fly this thing, right? There's oxidizer. 1.28943. That's not going to get anywhere near to space. The turbojets will need to spool up. That's a good idea. Double intakes for double safety. Double intakes for double air hogging. Yes, launch clamps. I will definitely... Oh, I could have used the engine nacelles, I guess. Because they have air intake as well. That's okay. Look, we could totally go like that. And then we could totally go like that. And that, I mean, it seems legit, right? It seems legit. We could give more air intakes on the side. Let's just go fly this thing. I just want to see how it flies, because it looks so weird, right? How are we going to launch clamp this dang thing, though? Just like this. Seems legit, right? And let's, oh, docking port. Not that we really need the docking port. Never remember where things are. I was like diving for the parachute. Alright. Let's see how this works. I actually don't know how it's going to work. This is going to be the, what do we call it? Turbojet. Turbojet lifter. And let's just give that a save, give that a launch. Recover Kenbo Kerman. We totally left him on the launch pad last night. Available for new missions. Congratulations, Kenbo. Caboose, with B9 parts using FAR, I don't have those mods installed. It's probably have to be stock craft. You could definitely describe it to me or show me a picture of it and I'll make something close to it, but B9 parts and FAR, I don't think I'm going to get those installed. So we can see how we can work it out. Let's see if this needs struts. Actually, that's a really good idea, Blip Man. I think that that's a really cool idea. I'm going to go do that right now because I like that idea a lot. So he was saying we're going to let the turbojet spool up, right? And that's going to use fuel. And why don't we put a fuel tank that we can drop on launch? That's a freaking really good idea, honestly. Nicely done, sir. In fact, we can just leave it sitting on the runway, right? Add a fuel tank to the launch camps and run a fuel tank to it from the craft. Can you do that? Can you actually do that? I want to see this. I want to see if that is a thing that is actually something you can do. Can I mount a... You can! You learn something every day, y'all. You learn something every single day. You can put a fuel tank on the launch clamps? How about that? I did not know that. I've never tried to do that. And then we could just do that. And then it'll draw the fuel from that. I'm not sure that'll be enough to get it spooled up, but let's see. That is actually really cool. I did not know that you could do that. Who knew that you could do that? That's just our turbojet spool up fuel. That is really freaking cool. Back to launch. All right, Caboose, I'll be here. Talk to me about the craft that you're working on. It's a think. You can also add lights. That's cool. Nice. I did not know that. Maybe we'll need more fuel. I don't know. Penlock KSA is engaged. We'll throttle up and we just need to wait till we see that our... I wonder if this is going to say our TW... Our actual... Yeah, there we go. When that gets over 1, we can actually release. And we're sucking fuel out of there, aren't we? That is a freaking brilliant idea. That is so freaking cool. Look at it suck that fuel, though. I'm going to let them spool all the way up as high as they'll go. Because we're using the fuel. That is so cool. Alright. 1.2. Look at that. Is that not the coolest thing? Intake air. 9.65 out of 16.8. Look at that. It's leaning a little bit. That's okay. We'll be fine. It's a space plane. Yeah, give me more info. What's up, Litman? Say question or something like that. Say question or say DOS and highlight it in red if you have a question, man. That is... You learn something every day. That's going to run for 25 minutes. Look, our Delta V is just going up. That is cool. Is that not cool? We should put more in the middle. Like that. We should put more air into, or we should put more things in the middle. Let's see how high this can go. This is definitely going to be a really weird launch profile. It's not going to hit our normal checkpoints, right? because we didn't do 1.7 on the pad. Look at our delta V increasing, though. Our delta V of our lifter stage is increasing. What? We're losing fuel, but our delta V is increasing rapidly. That is so cool. Yeah, Mad Monster. It's really more about me debugging things. It's not just like showing off craft, really, but it's really if you're having trouble with the craft and you need me to help debug it or something like that. Oh, you asked. You raised your hand. That's kind of what my concept was here, just being able to help people debug things, sort of deal. But you know, whatever. It's all good. If you want to submit something, submit it. Tell me what you wanted me to do with it, and we'll have a look. Since it's like KSA Helpdesk, I was really... Yeah, it's because the faster we go, we're getting more. How do you make your text appear red? You say DAS, D-A-S, like this, or you say question, like that, and that highlights it in red. That kind of gets my attention. That is so freaking cool. Plus, we're getting more thrust the higher we go. These engines get more thrust the faster they go. See, look at this. So the specific impulse is increasing, and the thrust should start increasing once we get going faster. Or higher? It's faster, isn't it? Yeah, it's faster. Oh no, finally our delta V stopped going up. No, it's going down now. What are we going to do? Now it's definitely going down. That's still only 1.3. We need more engines on here. We definitely need more engines on here. You just said Formula 1, Formula Racer. Bama Medic 90. There's a mod in my channel called Navball Docking Port Alignment. That's freaking great. You definitely need to get that thing downloaded, installed, that sort of stuff. I can do a quick session. This is the help desk, and I'm just answering people's questions. Do I have anything in orbit I could rendezvous with, and I could go over for you? A rendezvous right quick? I would definitely be happy to do that. Look at this thing go, y'all. I almost feel like I wish I could get these closer down to it. It would be really cool if that was sitting right on top of it. Decouple. I'm not going to decouple yet. But look at that. We're getting more thrust. Our thrust is increasing. What do you think is going to happen when we try a gravity turn? I think I'm gonna do a spaceplane sort of thing and take this thing up to 15 before I try a gravity turn. Our intake air is going down. Our delta V is going down like crazy. You have to be kidding me, though. Because up here we're supposed to be going 260 and we're not. Yeah, I will definitely, in the right plane distance, I will do a rendezvous. After this, here's what I'm going to do. Somebody's asked about asparagus staging, and multiple people asked about rendezvous. So after we see if this thing gets to orbit or not, I am going to do an asparagus stage rocket that rendezvous with something in orbit, and we'll talk to it about that. Look at our speed increasing, though. Our intake air is decreasing, but let me see if I can't start some sort of a gravity turn, because that will also give us a little bit more intake air. That intake air is dropping like a rock up here, though. You hear him spooling down? We're still increasing. The engines. It's almost like we need a... I'm getting asymmetric thrust. It's almost like we need a... Look at this thing! Come on. How are we at 21? We're still increasing. We haven't completely run out yet. I hear him spooling. Y'all hear him spooling? But we are still increasing our speed. Alright, and we need to see how much fuel we have left. That entire tank is full. Wow, we don't need nearly that much fuel in this thing then. But if I don't do this fast, time to apoapse. Yeah, we're going to have to cut it here because our time to apoapse is too close. We're gonna have to call this. Later! Those engines. Look at them burning out. They all started to burn out. That's freaking cool. So now, rest of the launch profile, we're going a little bit slow. So this is not a great launch profile. I'm going to try to burn it up, but I'm going to have a lot of losses to steering here. I'm going to have a lot of losses to steering. In fact, this is not going to make orbit on the kicker alone. It will be able to make orbit with this, with the actual engine itself. Yeah. How is that possible? That is definitely cool. Yeah, you're not fast enough. Yep, that was it. You're not fast enough for the air intakes. That was, so we need basically more thrust. 48, 49, 50. Turn and burn. Put it all into orbital velocity. Actually, that's a little bit low. We would really want to get out of this atmosphere faster. Are we feeding from all our tanks correctly? Yes. Plus, we'll be able to go faster with a lot less fuel in that beginning stage. There's 78, 79, 80. What do we have? 158. What do we have? 14. Yeah, we're going to use about 300 meters per second of delta V out of the actual fueler herself. There you go. Add maneuver. Put it on the apo. Let's go prograde till we get a flip. Typical orbital insertion procedure, right? There's a periaps. Wait till the periaps starts to come around. Change in positions with the apo. Thoop. 94 by 81. That's too much. 392, 91, 98, 98, 76, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 81 by 81. Yeah, there we go. And let's see here. We have 428. We need 963, so it'll be 500 meters per second. We'll have 700 meters per second. We could totally do a transfer with that. I'm going to leave this guy in orbit, and then I'll do a rendezvous with the next rocket. We'll do one more iteration of the intakes to see if we can get higher and faster. Less fuel, basically, and then we will... what is that? Electric charge. Where's my electric charge going down? Don't I have RTGs on here? I do have an RTG. SAS? Yeah, it's charging now. Okay. So it's going to be a 32-second burn. We half that. That's 15 plus 1, 16. So we go to 16 seconds. And let's insert this guy into 81K orbit. So we have targets to rendezvous dock with, right? 17, 16. Fire her up. Again, what's going to happen? This is crazy thrust. And we are going to lose this stage halfway through. And we're going to have to go to these engines. We're not going to have the same thrust to weight. That'll be okay. We're just doing an insertion burn. Later, sucker. We're actually not too bad. There's another 40 seconds. We can fix it live. Our apoaps is going down. That means we need to burn down. We're going to have to burn. Watch this. If we can keep the apoaps. Nope. Now up. If we can keep the apoaps. There we go. We just got to hover around the apoaps. 81. That's going down. That means that I need a little bit less. There we go. It's just right about there. I'm just trying to keep the apoaps stable because when I'm not burning at the apoaps... Okay, that was the wrong direction to us. Wow. Too many things to watch at once. I'm going off in one direction too. 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's 74. So let's circularize and incline at 85. So we have a nice steady target to do our docking with. So the number one thing, Bama, for rendezvous is to make sure that you're in a stable orbit, right? A stable orbit will make your rendezvous a lot easier. To do a stable orbit, go ahead and set the moon as your target. The thing that does, it allows me to see these ascending and descending nodes, right? And you can see that I'm -5 inclined. That means that I've got a little bit of tilt to my orbit, right? You can also see it over here, negative or 4.5 right there on the inclination. The other thing, that's 74 by 84. Let's make it 85 by 85, right? So over here, the first maneuver I'm going to do is something that adds just a little bit to make it 85. 85.1. That's good. That's like a 1 meter per second. Do I have it? Yeah. So here's another cool trick we talked about yesterday. And I do see a lot of things in the chat, which I will get caught up with. Just let me circularize, stabilize this orbit here. So I need to do basically no burn in 8 minutes to bring that... Where are you at now? It's going to be halfway between these things. There it is. Thwink. Screet. Alright. In a trick we saw yesterday, we actually used RCS to stabilize this orbit because you have such fine control over it. Let's do that right quick. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Come on, faster than that. 3, 2, 1, 0. Alright, and we're just going to give it 1 meter per second of delta V that's going to raise this up from 84 to 85. Kind of being nitpicky there. But not really that big of a deal. If we didn't do this, it's not really that big of a deal. So RCS engage, and watch what I can do. I can just use the RCS to put exactly 1 meter per second in it, and get right there. In fact, we could actually... Dang it. Dang it. Fine control. Ha! So, interesting thing, if you're trying to get something into a geostationary orbit, you might want to take RCS with you to fine-tune it, because for a geostationary orbit, you have to have a very, very, very specific orbit for it to be truly geostationary, a very, very specific velocity, a very, very specific height, and it has to be perfectly circular. So you might want to take RCS with you if you're trying to get something into geostationary orbit, just because you have such fine control. Avendare, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Helpdesk. We're doing Kerbal Space Academy Helpdesk this evening. I do appreciate the follow. So, we got it. We got our apps where we wanted it to be, right? Let's go ahead and set the moon as the target. The next thing, we want to make sure that we're not inclined. We know that we're inclined 0.45 right now. This will tell us 0.5 because of, rounding. So what we do over there is we put a node right on here. We add maneuver, and that is an ascending node. An ascending node means that I need to burn anti-normal. That's the downward triangle. And it's the same thing. You just wait for the flip. You pull down on this until the descending node comes around, and that actually means that it's 0. And if you go in the other direction, the perfect way to do it is if you can get these nodes spearing it through like that. So I'm there, and you change them 90 degrees. Sometimes you can get it to say not a number even. The number is so low. But that's 0 by 0. That's 18.1 meters per second. I know that it's a descending node, so I'm going to have to burn south. So I'm going to turn to the south like this. And we are going to put this in a very nice... I have RCS. So moving around with RCS changed my Apo apps. Dad blame it. That happens sometimes when the craft is not exactly stabilized. Don't be concerned by this weird bug, right? This is a very weird thing with the way that it looks at the fuel. These tanks are probably still full. Yeah, these tanks are, yeah. So it looks like we're almost out of fuel, but that's because 2 tanks were shared by 4 engines, and then then this tank was shared by 2 engines, and that tank was not shared by any engines. It looks like a really dire situation, but look, we have almost all of our fuel. It's just the way that it displays this with the fuel routing. We actually have most of our fuel left. In fact, I think I can do stage only. Yeah, we have about half of our usable fuel, even though this shows like a quarter of it remaining. That's just it's a bug in the way that shows that. It shouldn't be doing that. Anyways, let's get this burn done, and let's get back to the VAB and see if we can launch that puppy again. 1 second burn. I'll go ahead and use the this, and you can actually watch it right here too. Inclination will change as we do the burn. I'm not going to be able to get it exactly 0. 0.2. 0.005. That's good enough for me. And then the last thing we need to do with this craft, we're right now at 85 by 74. So we'll go around to our Apo, add maneuver, get rid of the moon, add that maneuver, and we're just going to bring the peri-apps up to 85 as well. Wait for the flip. 84 by 84. Again, if I can get them halfway, that should be 84.8 by 84.9. That's close enough to 85 for me, right? And as soon as I do this burn, I know I've been doing a lot of talking and not a lot of chat checking. RCS off? Yes. And I will get back and I will get caught up with the chat. Because I see the questions over there. I see them highlighted. I just haven't had a chance to respond to them yet. And I like to respond to people who are highlighting things. 11 minutes. Very small burn. Less than a second. We'll just get it done. And then we'll have a nice target up here in orbit to rendezvous with. 2, 1, 0. There we go. That precession gets on my nerves. I wish it would just lock with the heading that I want it to. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here, you could do this as well, right? You could actually burn your engines most of the way, and then use RCS to finish it off. Another idea to fine-tune it when you're dealing with orbits. Now we're at 84.6 by 84.9. That's pretty good. Inclination very low. That's pretty good as well. So we have a nice target here in orbit to duck with. So let me have a look here. Oh, wait. Stalker Coffee? Are you the only person? Stalker Coffee? Dang it. I totally missed a raid. Let me do that. Sorry, I was concentrating on putting something into a stable orbit so we can totally point at it. Let me get caught up on chat here. Rendezvous, home and transfer. Mad Monster, I'll get you a home and transfer. We're going to do that right here. We're going to fix that air breathing, that booster stage. That's so cool. As Isaiah Stanley, dude, I'm glad you think the rocket stick. Welcome to the welcome to the Kerbal. What is this? I don't even know what you're doing now, Luis. Welcome to the help desk. Continuing to get caught up in chat. Where did my chat go? Dude, MiggleNet, thanks for the follow. Actually, everybody coming over from Stalker's channel, thanks for coming over. Thanks for the follows, all that sort of stuff. Let me continue answering this, and then I'll get down to the Stalker raid and say what's up to everybody. Freud asked, what is the benefit of a circular orbit over an elliptical orbit? A circular orbit is easier to rendezvous with. So if you have two circular orbits, it's easier to set up a perfect homing transfer between the two orbits. If you have a elliptical orbit, the homing transfer is going to be more difficult to set up. Not impossible to set up, like we showed rescuing Jeb last night, but we will definitely have an easier time of doing a first homing transfer sort of thing if both orbits are pretty much circular. And they can be 5 or 10K off. I mean, you can be like 80 by 85 or something like that. It's not that big of a deal. It's just easier that it's exactly circular from both orbits that you're coming from. And you'll see that when I get into the home and transfer, that is definitely what we will talk about. Dude, Stalker Coffee, I see you chatting over there. Go get a coffee, go get a toilet break, get rid of that coffee that you stalked or whatever. And I totally appreciate the raid, dude. You're freaking awesome. Thank you so much for sending people my way. Let's see here. It just makes transfers easier. Yes, it does. Thank you, Ame. Aim. We have a highlight, Mad Monster. I've got a highlight set up for saving Jeb. It went well. Evil Guy 88 says, Das, I have a question. My camera in the SPH is bugged. Help. Save it and go back into it, and it should reset your camera to default. Hopefully you didn't drag your craft way off to one edge. I'm honestly not sure if there's a command or a button you can hit to recenter the camera in the spaceplane hangar or the VAB. Does anybody know if that's something you can do? Is there a button you can hit to reset the camera in the spaceplane hangar or VAB? See if we can help out Evil Guy 88 there. I would just probably close the craft down and reopen it. So let's see here. This is how the firing stages. Oh gosh. Nice, Luis. It's like Luis's channel as well. It's got to the moon's orbit and landed safely in Kerbal with the Kerbal X. Awesome Hitman. That is another successful moon mission, dude. Good job. Bama Medic, I think you're talking about RCS tuning? Is that what we were doing back then? It is. It's so simple. And it's really, really good for interplanetary transfers because it gives you such fine control, right? I mean, you can even hit the caps lock and have insanely fine control. But it may be a reason to carry RCS, or just put you some Werner thrusters on there, prograde and retrograde pointing, and use those to do little bits of burns, prograde, or retrograde when you need to finish it up. So let's see here. Nice, Luis. That was the geostationary orbit, geostationary orbit. Stalker Coffee also with the host. I just scrolled to that part of my chat, man. Dude, Stalker Coffee with the host and with this? With the raid, with the host? Patagin, Patet Gentle, Jack Redlum, MiggleNet. All want my coffee, I guess. I don't have any. Kerbal Space Academy will only do Dr. Pepper. In fact, I don't even have a can tonight. I just have this. I would give you some Dr. Pepper. I could make you some. I've got some Vietnamese coffee over there. I can make it. It depends on how much you like with it. I can do iced Vietnamese coffee. That's exactly what we're doing. But dude, all the stalkers that came over, thank you so much. I totally appreciate the raid. I totally appreciate the host, Stalker. No kidding. Just call you Fries. That's going to be really easy to remember. Honestly. Let's see here. There's only coffee, just Dr. Pepper. Luis got my back on that. Yeah, let's see. You know something? Even if one person came over and you were like, only one stalker wants your coffee, I would still be happy. It'd still make me happy. Mad Monster, same craft. There's the host. Yeah, that's awesome. There was a toilet break. Saving Jed. Watch the highlight. Click on my name where it says Das Valdez currently playing Kerbal Space Program. Go to highlights, and you can totally see the highlight of the Jeb rescue and landing coming home. There's quite a few. Epic landing. Yeah, it was an epic landing. Call you fries. Patet. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Pategi. I don't know. I've got too much Spanish in my brain. You can't move left and right in the spaceplane hangar. Don't you do that by holding down right-click and moving left and right? I think that's how you move left and right in the spaceplane hangar. Did you try to reload it? Did you turn the power on and off, maybe, in the spaceplane hangar? Yeah, there you go. Middle mouse button. Middle mouse button? Mine's right-click, I thought. Left and right. Maybe it's not. Yeah, Luis, maybe try middle mouse button. See if that helps. So we got this guy in orbit. We're going back to the Space Center. We're going to do another one, and we are going to tune this a little bit. We had a lot more fuel than we needed, Meester. But this is just one of those things. In fact, this really answers the question as to whether or not Caboose, there's a cheat sheet thrust-to-weight ratio for spaceplanes. There's not, because of the way, you saw the way those engines acted, right? The higher we went, the more thrust we got. And the efficiency changed like crazy. I mean, there wasn't really much that we could do there. Did we even use this tank? I don't even think we used this entire tank, did we? What if I just take half of the fuel in this tank? A little bit more than half. And we don't even take this tank. Do we have any other issues? That'll work. Right there, that'll work. Were there any other issues with this craft that I needed to fix? It actually looks so freaking cool. We could always put more air intakes on there, you know something? Y'all know I don't like to spam air intakes, but sometimes. See that? I mean, that looks kind of legitimate, right? It looks like air could be going into there. A little bit more air intakes. We're just not going fast enough. Anything else I need to fix with this stage? Evil Guy. Did that fix you, Evil Guy? Nice. Luis, thank you so much. Do I know Power Color? Do I know Power Color? I don't know them personally. I've seen them streaming, but I don't know Power Color. So, awesome. Let me know. So I've got half a tank in there. We're going to let these suckers spool up using our freaking insanely ingenious fueler tank over here. That thing is so freaking smart. Let's do that. Let's save it. Let's launch it. Let's see what we got. See what we got. That was Bama Medic. Dude, Bama Medic, thanks for the follow. I haven't even earned it yet, though. I feel like you should unfollow until I get something rendezvoused for you, man. I don't mind earning my singing for my supper around here, honestly. I take it you went to Bama, by the way, and I take it you're a medic of some sort. My powers of observation and deduction are what led me to those beliefs. Let's see what we can do here. SAS engaged, throttle up. First, we're going to let those engines spool up. Let's see what we got. Outstanding. We're going to let this get over 1.0. We're using fuel out of our it's not really like the Blackbird has. It's like the little engine cart. That's not a fuel tank. Whatever. That's nothing like what the Blackbird uses to get kickstarted. Used to get kickstarted. I'm going to let this get up to actually, I'm going to let this get up till this fuel tank's just about empty. And after we spool this puppy all the way up, 1.3, that's actually good right there. Let's light this candle, y'all. Air-breathing lifter stage is what we're doing. So it's a bunch of jet engines. It's a bunch of turbojet engines on the bottom of our lifter stage. And we should have better thrust to weight because we have less fuel that we're carrying in there. What was this? Alabama, and you went to Alabama. You're a paramedic and an... Awesome. What was this? Let me see here. Let's see here. Where was I going? I was going to look at this, the chat in the other window, which is what I need to be reading. All right. Exactly. Didn't need my help. Right rotate mouse view. Yeah, there we go. Do I know power color? I don't know him. If he'll eat a dollar bill. The problem comes later when it comes out. That actually sounds disgusting. Bama Medic. Bama Medic, do you think it's a good idea to eat a dollar bill? Since you're a medical professional, I will ask you. I don't know if I want to encourage someone eating a dollar bill. That sounds disgusting. As long as he doesn't have a drug test tomorrow. Isn't there traces of cocaine on every dollar bill in the United States? Or there's some statistic or something like that I've heard. Maybe it's just $100 bills. Corn chips. Hello, Dawson chat. How's everyone tonight? I'm doing fine, thank you. And Snuggly Squid. Air breathing lifter actually looks really good. Once you get to a certain altitude, it stops working, but it's working well for us so far. I'm not sure if it would be more or less expensive, because you do have to spam a lot of engines on there, right? It's more nasty than harmful. That's awesome. That makes a lot of sense. It's more nasty than harmful. I'm having to be really careful because I've got ice in my Dr. Pepper glass. Thader, what's going on? We're building an air-breathing lifter. Dollar bills always have Coke or glitter on them. Good to know. Good to know. If I'm ever short of Coke or glitter, I can just scrape off my dollar bills. So let's see what we got going here. This is our air-breathing lifter. Trying to get this fueler to orbit. Our kicker can't be air-breathing, but our lifter can be air-breathing. I almost wonder if we should fly it like a space plane and have like a completely different... I don't know. I wonder if we should fly it like a space plane. I wonder if that would work. That'd be an interesting thing to try. But we are going to get to the rendezvous and asparagus staging next, so we're going to give this guy one more try. It's not going to be a rendezvous. I'm just going to see if he goes to orbit any more efficiently than he did last time. Because this would actually be really hard to rendezvous with. Set up a home and transfer, we can rendezvous. In fact, I'll shoot for a 70K orbit and see how that works for us. Those engines are still spooling up. I can't remember if this is a higher thrust to weight than we got last time at all. That Delta V is going down now, which is interesting. Thanks, Stalker. Let's see here. What did I miss? I mean, what were you asking? Not without lift, otherwise you'll fight gravity too much. Okay, Thader, that makes sense. Actually, that is a really good idea. That does make a lot of sense. Because, see, when we do this turn, because we're not going straight with this, we're going to get less intake air, right? We almost have to really pull this guy over, because the closer we're going to our velocity vector, the more air intake we will get. And I need to pull this over slowly but surely. I'm feeling a little bit better about the... I almost feel like one more set of engines would do us good. Just for this payload, right? Whatever all this payload up here is. But see, we're running... I mean, that stuff starts to go down so freaking fast. And maybe if we kept it up a bit like this... I hear him starting to spool. I think there's so many of them that the asymmetric thrust doesn't matter. Like, if one starts to spool down, it doesn't really matter. But I don't really feel like I'm accelerating fast enough. I'm gonna run them till they burn out. And I can feel the asymmetric thrust happening. How much fuel do we have left? Wow, we barely used any fuel. We barely have to put any fuel in that tank. That's ridiculous that we barely have to put any freaking fuel in that tank. Alright, I feel like we're starting to run out of intake air. I want to see when they flame out, though. 0.9. They're spooling down. We're not going fast enough. We need to be going faster. It says 0, but it still says we have 0.7 up there. Let's just see how high we can get here. Because we are still accelerating and we are still not out of our apoapse. If this starts to go down, that's when I have to get rid of it. This is what you were talking about. Uh-oh. They're starting to fail. Later! It's still flying. It's still throttled up. Check that out. That's awesome. They're flaming out behind us. Look at them all going. How cool is that? We'll put this guy in a 70-kilometer orbit. They keep freaking fireworks show behind us. I almost feel like I need to ditch it a little bit sooner. It's gonna get cleaned up on us though. Because see, right now I'm getting some steering loss because I'm trying to gain altitude instead of orbital velocity. Because if I were to burn with the orbit here, I'd stay in the atmosphere too much. I'd waste a lot of time in the atmosphere, and that's not what we want. Here's another thing. Check this out. With Kerbal Engineer, you can actually watch your inclination as you launch. So because that inclination is positive, I need to go more to the north, south, and I can just pull that relative velocity vector on down. 84. I shouldn't have been describing that. I was like trying to describe one thing, and then I totally screwed it up. Well, that's okay. Look what we can do. We can do this. Here's another trick. This apoapse is too high. This is wasteful. Don't do this. This is not a good launch. But if I point down a little bit, I can actually decrease my apoapse while still increasing my orbital velocity. See my apoapse going down there? And I am increasing my orbital velocity, but I'm decreasing my apoapse. It's basically an anti-normal burn. No, this is radial in. Sorry, not anti-normal. This would be a radial in burn. And see, I can totally decrease this down to like 75 and stop. And then I can do my circularization burn when I get up here. That was actually really good. We got a lot higher. Look, we're going to have more. What do we use? We used 500 in our payload stage. This time we're going to use less than 500 to go circular. Wait for the periapse to flip. You know something? We should play some 8-bit music, shouldn't we? That's 79. Let's wait for it to flip back. It started to come. 75, that's good. We're going to have to do this burn. 24-second burn. Okay, we're fine. And look at that, 722 and 400. So we got about 200 more meters per second out of the lifter that time. So not bad, not bad. Plus we could put chutes on it, right? We could totally put chutes on it. And then we could... Oh, that's what's draining it. This thing. Those are draining it. Interesting. 24. Half of 24. 12. So I need to start burning. And we are going to run out again because that was 700 meters per second. We did not have 700 in the tank. That's okay. Same story as last time. And let's see if we can actually tune it this time. There's that. Later. Now, 7543. Time to apoapse, 24. That means we're just past it. I need to go up like this. Bring that apoapse back around, actually. Bring me back up. There we go. That means we're at apoapse right there. And then if I burn at apoapse, I can go straight to 75. Like that. Meh, 74 by 79. That's okay. Can I do RCS to tune it? Am I close to apoapse? Yeah, see how that's moving the 78 a lot faster than it's moving the 74? 75, 74. Periapse, we are going up right now. Interesting. So I could also do this. I could point down a little bit. And if I point straight down, like this, it should fix me. Just to tune it. I'm going to trade periapse for apoapse by pointing straight down. Burning radial in is what it is. So now see my periapse is going up, but my apoapse is going down. I'm just trading periapse for apoapse right like that. Now we're at 75 by 76. Let's do a little bit more. Let's do 75.5 by 75 whatever. Oh, we just passed the periapse. That's fine. Good enough. Back to the Space Center. I'm going to get caught up with chat. There's Space Center. I'm going to get caught up with chat. And we will build an asparagus stage rocket, and then we're going to rendezvous with these guys we just put in orbit. 2 birds with 1 stone, because those were a couple user requests we had. And I said I was going to do 8-bit music. Let's go get that done. Bookmarks, streaming, chiptunes. Let's go for the middle one today.
When the Galaxy Note launched in 2011,
seriously?
it was ahead of its time.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Let me know how the volume is there, y'all. I think it's good. But that's that. So, turbojet lifter. That's cool. Yeah, you're right. Let's do this. Like, that's how much we need, almost. That was awesome. Let's see here. Volume is awesome. Thanks, Bama. Good deal, man. Spent a lot of time droving through Alabama. All the time. It's not so good in my... Look at that. It claims that there's 230 meters per second, but turbojet engines do not work that way. Alright, let me get caught up with the chat here, y'all. There was that. I got that. Good to eat. Lean over. Yep, half the fuel, it should fly faster. Yep, I agree. The quarter size, you're right. We could go with the quarter size. The Kethane processing station you shared yesterday docked? Nice. Good job. Game music mixed with chiptunes. But, I mean, the thing is... I always do that, actually. I can't be troubled to shut that down. See, there's no way to get to the freaking settings from inside the game. That's so annoying. Why is there not a settings thing here for the volume or something? Am I missing? Am I dumb? Am I missing something there? Like, is there something really obvious that I'm missing? A good design? Dude, however you can slap some hitchhikers on there really is a good design. If you want, you can pretend that you're going to give them artificial gravity by putting the hitchhikers facing radially and spinning the station up, because with the centripetal, the angular acceleration, you would be able to have artificial gravity in your hitchhikers. That's one thing that we do a lot, that I kind of do a lot. Graphics, music, accept, apply. Now we're straight chiptunes. Traincom, we are just answering some people's questions, honestly. We've got Kerbal KSA Helpdesk, is what I call it. And we got some chiptunes. Kerbal Boot Camp. There we go. Excellent day. See, that looks okay over there. Is my green screen so good? It looks like my hat is transparent. A little bit. Whatever. We shall see. I've got that. You can access this, but it's not the music settings. Is it the music settings? From my ship you can adjust audio. Really? That's annoying. What is that thing? Except for part count hell. That is a lot of part count. I don't even know what mod those parts come from. I mean, it looks really cool. Does it fly, or do you have to hack it into gravity? You have station science, so you were hoping for something involving that. Here you go, Poison Gold. You could put the science in the middle, and you could put stations, you could put hitchhikers out to the side, right? Monkey514, welcome to the help desk. We are doing some random questions, just answering random questions, demonstrating things in the game. We just accomplished an air-breathing lifter stage. We got a payload into orbit using an air-breathing an air-breathing lifter, which was kind of cool. If we wanted to, we could actually VTOL that thing, put a probe core on it, maybe. I wonder if that would work. It would get cleaned up too soon. So I think that's what you were looking for. You'd have to go back and pilot it down and land it and then come back to your other ship or something along those lines. That is what you would have to do with the mod you were talking about. Those guys are in okay orbits. And I said that I was going to do a... Aha. Have to hack it and also fly it. It's the new B9 pack. Okay. Have to hack it. That's cool, though. I mean, that's a... I like the sculpture ships like that, right? Where it's like, it looks really cool. You can get it into space and it flies and it takes some really cool screenshots. Those things take a lot of work, really. It's never really been my thing. Like, I'm not really good at it. But it's definitely cool. Hey, guys, let me do this right quick. Jeez. DK spamming me with the text messages here. I need to do this. I need to take a quick break. I just need to hit the head right quick. What's up, Crazed? How's it going? Give me just a couple minutes. Give me 2 minutes to hit the head right quick, and I will be right back. I'm going to put up the BRB screen. We are going to, when we come back, do rendezvous and docking, and get it to orbit using an asparagus-staged lifter. Those are the two things we had some user requesting. And then after we get those things done, after we're satisfied with rendezvous and docking, after we're satisfied with the asparagus-staged lifter, we're going to look at a space plane that can carry one full turbo tank to orbit. That's what we're going to be looking at next. So, I will be right back. I just got to hit the head. I'm actually empty on Dr. Pepper, too. I mean, two things are related. This was my Dr. Pepper, which I drank all of, and now I need to eject it into space. Or whatever. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I mean, you can go anywhere if you want. If you want to go somewhere, that's fine. Do whatever you want. I'm not the boss of you. I'm not even a sign, much less a cop. Name the reference. I'll be right back. Browser, where's the BRB? There we go. And I'm back. Got some more Dr. Pepper. Got a snack. Got some stuff. Let's go over here. I'm back, like I said. Thanks for hanging out. What happened in chat? What is this? We're talking about robots now? What are we talking about in chat? Seriously? Alright, now we're back to here. Good, good, good. Let me see what we're talking about. What are we talking about? What did I miss? Craze. Alright, that's where Craze came in. So that's that's like my checkpoint. Checkpoint. I said hi to Crazed. That's the last thing that I did. Good deal. Let's smack talk Dr. Pepper while he's gone? So anyways, what's up, Override? They are robots, like everyone else. I can talk like a cool, like one of those 50 sorts of robots. Oh my gosh. Oh, you heard Olive Garden. Interesting, okay. I was on the phone. I apparently need to talk a little bit softer. Thanks for letting me know there, override function. Skyhook, I can't read that. Hola, ¿cómo están, Kappa? I got that. Estamos bien, pero entiendo que solamente se permite inglés. I think that's something about only speaking English. I'm pretty close. I mean, I'm pretty close. I missed some follows. Huh. Lolman1298. Welcome to the Kerbal Helpdesk. We're working on Kerbal stuff. Yeah, I think Skyhook there was saying that we really only want to speak in English. Was that it? Did I get it right? I mean, I grew up freaking 2 hours from Mexico. Doesn't mean I can speak Spanish, but it means I can read a little bit of it. Greater Plans, the world is an infinite universe. What? I have no clue what that even is. Alright, Fukuda Das has returned from another payload delivery. Wait. I have returned, or you have returned? I don't even know. Let me get into the VAB here. To the VAB. Alright. My keys are working, right? Yeah, my keys are working. So we had some questions about, Das, that was Grace. I said there's only English chat, I think. I can read and pronounce Spanish, but I don't speak it. Yeah, there you go. I have from the restroom, gotcha. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I understand that English allows only. Antari's goodbye. Yeah, there you go. See, that was pretty close. No worries. I mean, as long as it doesn't overrun it, I won't be able to respond to it. If somebody comes in and says hi in Spanish or something like that, I'm not going to jump all over them. No way. Here it's 1:42 a.m. Well, Antares, thank you for joining us so late at night over there. We are just playing around, answering some questions from users. I'm Das Valdez. I run Kerbal Space Academy, also Kerbal Boot Camp, and I'm calling this Kerbal Help Desk, where I'm answering specific questions that people have. Maybe we'll make this a Sunday night thing, or if you have questions on Sunday night, you can come ask me and we'll do it in the game. That's what we're doing right now, though. So, I do appreciate you joining us from Spain. That's awesome. Let us. Should we launch that same rocket? If we do launch that same rocket, that may be a little boring. I don't know. It's not balanced anymore is the problem. Let's see what we got, though. The Boogaloo 2 Mooner Party Bus. Let's, I don't know. Let's just build, let's toss together a really quick ship that's gonna go and do something. How's that sound? I know. I know. I thought about this last night. I totally wanted to do this. I need to bring up a picture right quick. Because we gotta have a payload. It's gotta be an interesting payload. And let's see who can name what ship I'm building here. It's actually a ship we're gonna build in the VAB. Using a cockpit, which isn't, let's see here. Uh-huh. Oh, and it's the tight one. Very cool, actually. That is actually pretty interesting looking. See what we can do. We will see what we can do with this. Interesting. Alright, what's the back look like? 1 engine, 4 engines. We'll get close. We won't build it exactly. We're just going to kind of do a rough approximation of this popular science fiction craft. You're from Texas. That's practically... No! Well, I'm from Texas, and it is practically Mexico. That is exactly what's going on. You know of a decent design for a pseudo-aircraft for my Eve expeditions. My resident expert, Luis Peliotto, can probably show you a decent design. The aircraft of Eve, right? Aircraft are not great in Eve because the atmosphere is so thick and you lose... And it has no oxygen in it, right? So because there's no oxygen, that means that you're having to use a rocket-powered craft. And the atmosphere is very thick, so you have a lot to push against, right? And so you have to have a rocket-powered plane carrying your own oxidizer. It's kind of a problem to do that, because the typical thing with planes is you don't carry the oxidizer, you suck in oxygen from the atmosphere, and using those turbojet engines is what allows you to be more efficient. And instead of having to use the fuel and oxidizer to fight against gravity, you use lift to fight against gravity. Eve, you've got a lot of stuff working against you, but I bet you, if it can be done, Luis will know. He will give you a link to a craft that is pretty darn close. That's that. That's that. It'd be interesting to have that, but not have the... This is not the greatest craft for docking with stuff, I guess. Where's my picture? From the side, that's a Lego. That's interesting. Where would I put a docking port? Ah, this isn't a good craft for this. Dang it. Alright, I'll do this another time. I can't do this right now. It's not going to be good for simulating docking. I'll do something a little bit different. So, what I'm doing, I'm building... That looks so dumb! It always looks so dumb! I wish it didn't look so dumb. What we're doing here is we're building a craft. Can I do this? Yeah, why not? We're just going to make a simple little craft here. Then get some docking done. What do I want to use? This? Would that look cool? Maybe that'll look cool. I'm just going to do something that kind of looks cool. That's wasted space. Let's put a little more fuel in the middle stage there. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Let's do the less fuel. I got mentioned in my chat, it's telling me. Was I going to build Serenity? No, that's not what I was going to do. It was pretty close. It was pretty close, but it's not what I was going to do. That is not a bad idea, actually, but not what I was going to do. Okay, that won't work. We've got to use the smaller ones. In 4x symmetry. I'm just building something that looks interesting. Really? Yes, it totally looks like I should not be able to clip that, to put that part there. This music is so freaking cool. Are you kidding me? It's because of the clipping of those parts, isn't it? Alright. Silly build things, if you ever can't get something to stick like that, just make one of them, then put it in 4x symmetry like that, and that will work. Is that straight? Not quite. One more tick to the left. There we go. That looks good. And then I wanted to do, how much thrust? A lot of thrust or not very much thrust? Let's look at the 909s and let's check our thrust weight on them. I don't know if that looks cool enough for my tastes. We'll have to see. It's easier to fly in Eve, but it's harder to get escape velocity in Eve. So you can fly at a slower speed, but it's harder to get escape velocity. It takes a very long time to get up to where the atmosphere is thin enough that you can get into escape velocity. That's where I was going with that. Thader! Dang it! That's what I was gonna build, but this isn't really it. This is kind of inspired by that. But yes, I was going to build a Gunstar. And then without the docking port in the front, since I'm trying to do a docking demonstration, I figured the Gunstar was not the best thing to demonstrate with. But yes, I was going to totally build a Gunstar. Dang it! Ugh. I need to shut my mouth. I need to stop streaming. I want to build things in private when y'all aren't around. That's a good place for that. 0.96 thrust to weight with Buku Delta V, and that's not even pulling out of the center tanks yet, is it? Gunstar. I want to build a Gunstar at some point. Just because we can. That movie was awesome. I'm going to go with the little off symmetry here. 2x times 2 instead of... There we go. Yeah, that looks good. What? That's interesting. I wanted 2x times 2. I did 4x times 2, it looked like. Alright, there we go. These, maybe? The coloration on those tanks always makes them look wacky. I don't like it. You could always go for the edge here and then circle it in. No. It just never looks right. I'll go with it. I'll go with it. I'll go with it. Can I break down the building shortcuts? Let's see here. That's a general Eve-related problem. Escape velocity. Alright, there we go. Yes. 3,200 meters per second, orbital velocity. You break down the building shortcuts. Yes. Okay. How did I stop the auto to 4x? Alright, Thader. Yeah, let me talk about that. I will talk a little bit more about what I'm doing. What I did, I was pressing X, and you'll see that if you want to do something like a strut, and you touch a part that's in 4x symmetry, let's see here. If you go from somewhere and you touch a part that's in 4x symmetry, it'll actually change it to 4x symmetry down here. What you have to do is, after touching that part, you can't change it. I'm pressing X right now. You can't change it while you're on the part. You have to go off of the part. I'm holding down Shift and pressing X, which is reducing symmetry by 1. I could also press X until I get back to 1. It kind of loops around, right? And if I'm off of it and I change it down to 1 and then I go back to the part, it'll stick to 1. If I touch any symmetry thing, however, though, when I'm on that 4x symmetry part, it'll actually go straight back to 4. Watch. I'm on 1. See, I only have 1x symmetry. I have 1x symmetry. I go over here, it's 1x symmetry. I could put 1, but if I touch X, it's actually going to go to 4 instead of 2. Normally the progression is 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 right? So, to fix that, to get to 2, I had to touch the part. I had to come off of the part. I had to move it back to 2x symmetry, and then I could go and touch the... Well, no, I had to put it... It only works with 1x symmetry, actually. I had to put it at 1x symmetry. I had to go touch the part, and then I could put 1 strut just there without the 4x symmetry. The other way, it wasn't as hard. I was putting these on. Let's do it with a strut again. If I touch this, that's in 1x symmetry because I already screwed it up, it looks like. There we go. There's the 4x symmetry again. If I take it over here, it still says it's in 4x symmetry. I can take it back, Shift and X, hold down Shift, hit X. I can take it back to 2x symmetry, and that'll allow me to connect it like that in 2x symmetry. See, I've got one over there and one over there, and nothing on the bottom and top. So that is how you do that. I will try to talk a little bit more about how I'm doing the building shortcuts. Thank you, Mighty Mouse 89 there. So there we go. This is a little bit of a Gunstar looking thing, but not exactly. I think I'm just going to put... should I use real RCS? I use real RCS. I don't use real RCS very much anymore. So we'll put some real RCS on here. This is way too much RCS for our docking maneuver. See, did you see how that happened? I accidentally went across this on the way to there, and so even though I had it at 2, when I went across that, it switched it to 4. And then I can go over here and I can put it back to 2. I could do the same thing if I had it at 2 and I didn't cross over that 4x part. If I went underneath it and went that way, it wouldn't change it. It's just when I move mouse over one of those 4x parts that it changed it to whatever the symmetry of that part is. Unless you're on 1. That's okay, I guess. We really need to put some fuel up the front. This craft is not going to be particularly easy to fly. Easy to balance, really. It'll be okay. We'll be fine. So what do we have? 250. That is more delta V than you can shake a stick at, honestly. So what else do we need? We need some reaction control. We definitely need some reaction control. In fact, where should I put the reaction control? Well, maybe it'll fit like this. Y'all know I've been a fan of doing this lately, so let's see how it looks. And if it works. See, it went to 4x symmetry again, I just go back to 2. Let's see if this works with our design here. No, 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 no. There we go. I don't think it's screwing with the fuel lines. I think those fuel lines are fine. They don't look like they're going to clip. Where did the other one go? There we go. Did y'all see what I just did there? Look, this happens a lot, right? And I just do it without thinking. When I had it on 2x symmetry, and I tried to put it there, oh, it's stuck. Now it's sticking no matter what. I'm trying to demonstrate it not sticking. All right, 2x symmetry. I tried to... I can't get it to not stick now. Dang it. 2x symmetry. All right. All right, hear it, hear it. That sweet not sticking noise, right? What I did, a lot of times when that happens, I actually go into the ship a little bit and touch a different part, then come back to it. So see how I go in and then I come back out? And a lot of times if you do that, you just kind of wiggle it in and out, it'll stick the next time. And I don't know why it does that, but that's the solution for it. Reaction control needs this. Yep, exactly. Reaction control needs... Well, it shouldn't have to be at the center of mass for that. Maybe we could put those pods a little bit further back. Let's see how we're looking here with the center of mass. It's a little bit far up. I mean, we could always do this sort of deal, right? We could split these engines in half. This is a little bit annoying. In fact, instead of doing that, I would probably just use those bigger engines, you know? But this should help us out some and make it a little bit less of a Gunstar, I guess. There we go. So now our reaction control... This is going to make designing the ship a lot easier, y'all. Honestly. So let's go with it. Let's go with it. You, sir, need more struts. What? Your craft is too big, Poison. If you send me a picture, wiggle it in and out. Das Valdez, 2014. Poison, what you may need to do is give us a picture and we'll show you how to strut it up. You probably need more struts or you need more struts. That's just the answer. You need more struts. Oh, and instead of these, why don't we do this? We'll put this even more on the center of mass. The problem is I don't think that I can install these on there, can I? No, dang it. But I could do this. Remember that design we had yesterday? I've been liking these designs lately. Because look, it like allows you to mount more things on the center of mass, right? Which is kind of cool. It's not exactly the center of mass, but we'll be okay. What if I put a docking port back there or something? What could I put back there? You can take a screenshot. Print screen. F1. Either one will take a screenshot. Then you could upload it to Imager or somewhere like that. Then we could see it. 6-way symmetry and do really short struts. Much 333N. Much 333N. Hey! Dude! You were watching YouTube. Much 333N. Also, thanks for the follow, I think just came in. You were on YouTube, and I responded to your message on YouTube. I hope that answered your question. And links, the same links I sent you in the message are right down in the channel description. Dude, welcome to the live stream, Much. We're doing a Kerbal Bootcamp. Nope, not tonight. We're doing Kerbal Helpdesk. Kerbal Space Academy Helpdesk this evening. And I'm just answering questions for some people. I'm sitting here, we're playing around, we're talking about the different concepts. Right now we're building kind of a, not exactly Gunstar clone, because the Gunstar would not have been particularly well, don't do me that way. The Gunstar would not have been particularly well balanced. I was very concerned about its center of mass when it started to spin. Not 4x. Oh, did I put them on in 4x? No. That's 2x. I really just want to put them on in 2x again. There we go. Wiggle it in and out like we said. Alright, so that's kind of cool. We've installed those things on the center of mass. We've got some reaction control. We've got some RCS. The fuel tanks, it looks like the fuel needs to go a little bit more back to move the center of mass back. And that's actually a really good design for a ship. How about that? Instead of doing that, let's just keep it simple. And we're just going to put our fuel flow from the middle here. I mean, I've got attachment space, right? It could land if we need to. We could put some fuel, or we could put some landing legs on it. I mean, I kind of like that, actually. I do kind of like that. And we've balanced out the weight of the docking stuff. So now we need RCS. Let's do the RCS. Good deal. Yeah, I'm glad it helped out. Much? Much? Can I call you Much? Much? Excellent, dude. I'm glad you enjoyed those videos as well. I'm glad they were able to help you out. That is what we are all about here. Trying to demystify Kerbal Space Program. It's such an intimidating game. It's like, I have a feeling that a lot of people don't play it just because it's like, oh man, you see all these crazy streamers doing stuff and you're like, that's too hard. In fact, somebody told me last night, they're like, oh, I'm never gonna get into Kerbal Space Program. I watched the streamers and I don't think I could ever do that. And I was like, dude, you could totally do that. There we go. And who was it that I was telling I was gonna get landed on Minimus? There we go. Now we got some lights too. It's kind of cool. Anything else we need on this ship? I mean, it'd be really good if we did something like this. No, that's not as good. I don't think. Because we have that nice big attachment point there, right? Whatever, let's go with it. It looks cool. Anything else we need to put on this thing? Did I miss anything? Power generation and RCS. I haven't even done the RCS yet. So let's get that done right quick. There's that. There's that. I could just put 4 RCS units on the center of mass. Just like that. That'll get us done. That'll be good for our... Hey, wait, what? Huh? 1x symmetry. Way to go, DOS. I just noticed I put those on with 1x symmetry. Let's put them on with 2x symmetry. And let's put them on with 2x symmetry. Although I'm kind of bummed that my HAL eye is being covered up there. Let's see here. There we... No, come on. There we go. Are we good to go? RCS on all corners? Yes. And we could also do... that should be enough RCS. What kind of space toilet made this rocket? Much. I am just power generation. Thank you. KSP is nothing compared to Dwarf Fortress. It'd be cool to share ship designs so people can do what they like most. It would be cool to share ship designs and people could do. I do actually have some of my ship designs. If you scroll down, you can see the link to my Kerbal X page. I've only got 2 things up there right now. But we're just making something so that we can demonstrate 2 things. I'm going to build a lifter using asparagus staging, and I'm going to do different methods of rendezvous and docking with this. This might drive you nuts. Arr. What did the pirates say? But the way you have you could dock on those and use your original cockpit. Oh, you mean dock on like the side things? I thought of that, Thader. I definitely thought of that, and I didn't do it because I want to keep it simple, right? I don't want to have to change to the side and something like that. I want to make it obvious with the way I'm docking, right? But let me talk about what I'm doing here. I've designed this ship, right? And I'm designing this ship such that it has power generation.